Sports Entertainment is recorded live at twitch.tv/baldyandthebeast. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and watch the matches right along with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bront.
I'm Willem.
And we are Baldy and the Beast. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Sports Entertained. Willem, what are we doing today?
Today we are watching Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the Ambrose Asylum match. And we got JD in the chat. First time back in a little while. What's going on, JD?
What's up, JD? Long time no see, my friend. So this took place on May 26th of 2016 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Or as I typed, Mewark, New Jersey.
Mewark.
There were 15,963 fans in attendance. So the story behind this one, at Payback, Dean beat Chris Jericho because, they like to do 50-50 booking.
Mm-hmm.
So on the next Raw, during the Ambrose Asylum, Dean was supposed to have Stephanie McMahon as his guest.
Okay.
But she came out and canceled his show and replaced it with Jericho's highlight reel because feud. So then Chris came out, attacked Mox, Dean, breaking Mitch the potted plant in the process. R.I.P. Mitch.
R.I.P. Mitch.
So the next week after that, after the sad, tragic death of Mitch, Ambrose attacked Chris to get revenge, destroying his jacket as retribution. And then on the May 12th SmackDown, Chris attacked Dean and put him in a straitjacket. And then on the last Raw, the go-home Raw, Dean challenged Chris to this match, which he accepted. Not a whole lot of build here, but I remember going into this one excited because I didn't really know what an Ambrose Asylum match was.
Yeah, so this pay-per-view happened right before I started getting back into wrestling in 2016, because I vividly remember, so I had, where I was working at, like, I was just, looking at, I would see, like, top 10s on, like, the Sportster, fucking What Culture at the time, and just be, like, looking at other little things, like, the interest was being piqued, and then, me and my wife and one of her friends, we went to trivia at the local B-dubs. And so, like, the big thing that was, like, at the end of the sports section was, like, who re-debuted last night at Extreme Rules, and it was Seth Rollins. And that was, like, right before I started really watching again.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
That's my memory with all of this stuff.
So I just looked, because I wanted to see about when I started watching. It would have been, like, late 2014, early 2015, when I really started to get back into it. So this I would have been pretty. I was a pretty devoted fan at this point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the product was what it was, but at that point I was like, I'm an adult and I like wrestling, and this is the best wrestling I know how to get my hands on at the time.
Right. At the time.
So, yeah, and then I discovered New Japan, and it was like, this is amazing. Anyways, let's get into that card. So we opened up on the pre-show with Baron Corbin defeating Dolph Ziggler in a no DQ match.
Karen Bourbon.
Baron Bourbon.
Karen Bourbon. Continue.
We opened the match proper with Gallows and Anderson defeating the Usos in a tornado tag match, which is not Extreme Rules. But still, that match probably wasn't as good as it could have been.
The look on Anderson's face in this flag, it looks like he's just pouting. Like he's just moping around a little bit, like, me, I can't bear it.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Like, he looks like a little kid sitting on the ground throwing a temper tantrum.
He kind of looks like he's been photoshopped in.
It really does.
But anyways, the next match on the card was one that I kind of forgot this person was champion. But Rusev defeated previous champion Kalisto for the United States title. I forgot Kalisto was the U.S. champ for a second.
Yeah, I know. They really tried to push him there for a hot second.
Yeah, not very long, though. I think he beat, did he beat, like, Del Rio or something? And I was like, ooh, maybe he's getting a big push. And then, he won a couple more times, and then he just fizzled.
He actually had a legit feud against Alberto Del Rio, and then they just kind of dropped the whole thing.
So that match was followed by the New Day defeating the Vaudevillains. And this was Big E and Xavier Woods. So That's a little bit different take on the, especially for the time, a little bit different take on the tag team there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have The Miz in a Fatal 4-Way defeating Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. The Miz defeating a bunch of indie guys.
Yeah.
Vince has to get over his product. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it, but
color me surprised.
Next up, we have our match, the Ambrose Asylum match. Actually, this is the longest match on the card.
Good, as it should be, because it's a Hell in a Cell with a whole bunch of extra nonsense.
Steel cage,
whatever.
This was followed by a submission match for the WWE Women's Championship with Charlotte defeating Natalya. During this match, Rick was banned from ringside, and if he had gone out, Charlotte would have lost the title. So it was essentially a one-on-one submission match where Rick couldn't interfere.
Okay.
And the main event was an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, where Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles.
Boo.
Yeah. Kind of boo.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like, AJ had just come into the company, like, literally 5 months, not even 5, yeah, probably 4 or 5 months before this. He had a match at Mania, and then, like, he went right into the world title picture. Like, they really put him in that spot very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They realized how good he was.
I know, because he's fucking great.
Vince originally thought he was a mid-carder. Can you believe that? Can you imagine looking at AJ Styles and being like, that guy is a mid-carder?
Can you imagine looking at 2014 AJ Styles and be like, we're going to put you in NXT for $50,000 a year. How's that sound?
Yeah, ain't that, like, that is such a kick in the nuts. I'm petty, so I probably would have remembered that. And I might not have signed with the company, because that's, AJ Styles in 2014 was worth way more than $50,000 a year.
As he went to prove himself in New Japan.
And made way more than $50,000 a year.
Okay, it's arguable in New Japan if he would have actually made way more than $50,000 a year, but he definitely made a lot more of a name for himself.
Well, you also have merch, which
That's true.
Probably does on his own, which makes, I guess the scene wasn't as hot in 2014.
I wonder how much he made off of those gloves on the indies, because he still had those same gloves.
I don't know. He did have those gloves.
I bet those sold like freaking hotcakes.
But the indie scene isn't what it is today, though. I don't know. True. That's a rabbit hole. But still, $50,000 a year is not enough for AJ Styles.
No.
Do you have anything you want to talk about before we go ahead and get into this match? Because I'm excited.
No, I think we can go ahead and jump into it. Provided, again, my stream decides it wants to get there, because, you know, as soon as we start talking about something, I go to click on the tag, and the entire thing refreshes. So this is the 6 tag on the card. If you're looking for the timeline, this match starts at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 38 seconds on the network. It's been a long time since I've actually watched this match. I remember I know I went back and watched this match, and this was... So like I said, I had just come back to wrestling at this time, and I'm sure everybody everywhere popped for the thumbtacks in the match.
Like you said, you did. For the thumbtacks.
But I when I left and came back, like, it was still kind of a thing that they were doing thumbtacks when I left, so it wasn't as big of a shock when I look back on this, like, oh, they did thumbtacks. But now thinking about it, it's like, wow, that's a really big deal, because I forgot that they had, like, done away with blading for a long time. But,
and fun fact about, well, I guess we'll hit this fun fact later. Let's go ahead and get into the match.
Yeah. Once again, the match is going to be starting at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 38 seconds on the card. Going to go ahead and count that down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, he caught it in the corner breaker and right into the tacks.
Jericho under the thumbtacks. He is screaming. He's got, 69 thumbtacks in him.
Probably a few more at this point because some fell out.
Yeah.
And there's blood, which is not something we're used to seeing at this point.
Yep, he's got so much thumbtacks in him.
You can hear the crowd is excited right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can hear it and you can feel it still.
Yep. Oh, and Dean hit the dirty deeds. But he himself also landed on the thumbtacks. He's like, fuck, man, that hurt.
That was not my plan.
Nope. That is it. That is the 3 count there.
Jericho's shoulder technically off the mat, both of them, because he has them up because of the thumbtacks over his head. So technically both of his shoulders were off the mat, but nobody mentioned it.
Yep. God damn. All right. So, that is our match for the evening. What are you giving that out of 5?
So the whole match, I was thinking this is not that good. I'm going to go about 3.5. And then the thumbtack spot hit.
Yeah, it really picked up there at the end.
And I think it deserves at least a 4. Like that spot transforms the whole match, and it ended on a high note.
I'm going to go about the same. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. For pure enjoyment. If we're talking like work rate match, you know, all the shit that would normally go into regular view, this is probably getting 3.5, 3.75 stars. Mainly because it really picked up there at the end. Like, most of this match was just Jericho running away from Dean, somebody grabbing a weapon from somewhere, getting a couple hits in, and then climbing back up the cage. It was very much the same spot repeated over and over again for the whole match. But then at the end, once all the spots kind of come together where they've got Barbie down, they're whacking Jericho's whacking Dean with Barbie. They introduced the thumbtacks there at the end. They brought down the fire extinguisher to shooting whoever's face, and then Dean got hit with it later on in the match. It led up into a much better story at the end, but the majority of the match was just kind of the same spots over and over again.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm going with probably 4 stars just for my own personal entertainment, but in reality, it's probably about a 3 3/4 star match.
Yeah, like I said, I was about 3.5 until that last 2 minutes.
Yep. Oh, I don't think we need to do. I feel like. Well, do you want to do rebooked for this one? I feel like this is recent enough that we, like, both these men are still actively wrestling. I mean, obviously, the way that we could book this match into a better situation is just put fucking hardcore guys into the match.
Yeah, I mean, I would book, instead of Gene Ambrose, I would go John Moxley.
Gene Moxley.
Gene Moxley.
I mean, just Gene Moxley versus Eddie Kingston, and there we go. That's a way better match because we already saw that match.
And it was great. Yeah.
Well, there that is.
What's your hot tagline?
Diet hardcore wrestling.
I was gonna go with dub hardcore.
Dub hardcore.
That's what it is.
Diet hardcore.
It's not hardcore, but it's like edging on that line.
Yeah.
And they just I wish, like, if only for Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view, make that fucker PG-13.
Oh yeah.
Announce there will be blood at this pay-per-view. Right. If you tune in, there will be blood. If you do not want to see that, do not tune in.
Right. It's really funny. So, like, all of your little taps on the table were picking up on the mic, so it's like you were doing the. No, it's funny because it was like you were doing the claps for emphasis. So do you want to go ahead and, well, I guess we already announced our next match because this Thursday we're doing part 2 of our Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker WrestleMania trilogy. That'll be this coming Thursday. Part 1 already up on YouTube. You can go ahead and check that out if you want. We would greatly appreciate. Well, no, that'll be up this Thursday because that's how our videos go up. I forgot how our schedule works for a hot second. Is there anything else you want to talk about tonight? Can we talk about the fact that we now have a great idea for like a secondary rebook thing where we just rebook matches with fictional characters?
I kind of like it.
I feel like that'd be fantastic.
I feel like we need to like sit down off camera and like come up with some like we can do like a fake storyline,
dude.
How Adam Pacitti or Adam Bompier rebooks actual storylines. We'll just book like Bruce Lee in New Japan or something ridiculous.
No. What we need to sit down. We need to book an entire wrestling federation made up of fictional characters. That sounds like the look on your face is like, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't really want to do that.
Sounds like I'm thinking about like if we did it on 2K, approximately how much work that was going.
How much work would it take to recreate all of these characters?
I think you can only have 20.
Oh, well, that's
I would
fucking
download.
lame.
Because I know they used to have a limit on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I would download them from the Creation Store.
Yeah. They probably have some of these people we're looking at there. Otherwise, it'd just be a fun thing to see, like, who in a wrestling promotion would be top champion or something like that.
Bye, JD. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I hope you had fun.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Like I said, if you want to come hang out, we're always here Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That reminded me of bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad.
Oh. Well, if we don't really have anything else to talk about, I think we can go ahead and call that there for the night. So, do you have anything else?
Other than bringing up AEW, the pay-per-view, not really, but we'll probably do that. We can probably wrap that all in together on Thursday.
Yeah, maybe. My entire takeaway from I said this on the show and I put this in the Reddit thread afterwards. The entirety of AEW Revolution 2021 can be summed up as it was like a good hard fuck that ended in a soft dribbling nut.
I heard that that's such a if I entered that part, it would have popped way harder. But I feel like that from what I kind of read online is that was not like I heard Kenny Omega's pretty upset.
Yeah, he was pretty mad about it. It's really funny that he was really mad about it, and then TK was just like in kayfabe. It's like, no, it's your fault.
And that makes like I said to you, how I would kayfabe it is I would just say I would not have leaked that Kenny was mad, and I just would have been like, guys, I did that on purpose. Do you think I wanted to be stuck in that ring? I made this shit. I could have been in there. Of course I made it like that.
Of course it's Garbo. What are you thinking?
Yeah. I don't want to blow my... That was my fail-safe. See, even if John got one up on me after I won the match, which I knew I would, I knew I wasn't going to get blown up. It was all a big... Like, they could fix this in one promo. And I would still shit on it. Don't get me wrong.
You know what? They could fix this in one promo, and it'll probably be the promo they cut on Wednesday.
But kayfabe-wise, they could fix it. And I'm still going to say it sucked. Because it sucked.
It was pretty bad.
I try hard not to be partisan, even though I am definitely biased.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Let's just say we've all had dates that have ended that way.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thank you so much for coming out and checking us out tonight. We greatly appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. If you haven't already, go ahead and check us out go ahead and check us out in the places down below. Any of the places that we're at on the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, all of that stuff is linked in the description. If you haven't already, or if you don't feel like looking at us, go ahead. God, I fucked up my outro all the way this time. I'm just like, I'm not doing good today.
Shame, Cam.
Shame on me. Shame on me while this. Anyway. If you don't feel like looking at our beautiful faces, go ahead and check us out on the audio-only podcast over at Anchor or Spotify or any of the places that we're at. All of that stuff is available in the description down below. We would greatly appreciate if you want to check us out there, or if you want to give us a like and subscribe on Facebook. It greatly helps out. We will be back this Thursday for part 2 of the Shawn Michaels versus the Undertaker. That's how I'm ending this. Shawn Michaels. The Undertaker. Part 2 of the Shawn Michaels vs. The Undertaker trilogy from WrestleMania 26 this time. It's going to be great. We will see you there. Thank you for coming out. Bye-bye.
Bye.